Choice Bank, we know you can't always make it before the bank closes. With our integrated teller, you can talk to a live person as late as 7 p.m. on weekdays and noon on Saturdays. It's not just an ATM, it's an ITM. First Choice Bank, your choice for banking.
You wonder how they're going to experience the real world in real safety, where all kids are welcome and everyone has a path forward to new skills, advancement, leadership, something they will carry with them the rest of their lives.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Good evening and welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor, and what a fantastic evening it was all Monday long. I mean, fantastic day all the way together. Hopefully you got outside to enjoy it, but if not, there is still some good news, and we'll be tracking a much drier forecast. Yes, I mean, even drier than what we had today for the rest of our week. I'm tracking that here in the Room to Room Weather Center. Let's get into that first headline, and it's like what I just said, a very dry forecast ahead as we head into the rest of this week. Temperatures, yeah, they were warm today, but at least they get better by the weekend. A little something to look forward to as you go about some above average conditions for our Tuesday. But when is the next chance of rain? That's the golden question, especially for a lot of farmers out there. We'll be tracking the latest on those rain chances here in the Room to Room Weather Center in just a moment. Let's focus on the here and now, and no rain expected in the here and now. The first 12 showcasing dry conditions from 11 p.m. towards your morning commute. 70 degrees at around 11, but low to mid 60s as we get started with our Tuesdays. So yes, it's cool, but where we should be at this time of year is around the upper 50s, but 60, 59, somewhere in that time, or somewhere in that range. Mississippi Live Weather Radar, doesn't really matter if I circulate this back 5 hours, 6 hours. I mean, we're still going to see those dry conditions. Let's put it on 6 hours so we can really see that loop. A few light showers tried to move in, but at most that was a sprinkle or two, and we're not seeing any of that right now. Mississippi Live Weather Radar. So hopefully you enjoyed it. If you got a sprinkle, and I mean, where we're talking about areas that got at least measurable rainfall is out here towards slightly there in Marion County. I'm going to try and get it. 0.04 inches. Mark that in the record books. Woo, what a fun time. No, I'm kidding. That's not a record. It was just a joke, a hyperbole, my English teacher would say. And same thing down there towards Tuscaloosa County. So that's it. Everywhere else, I mean, I could populate this in. Doesn't really matter. Everywhere you want to put it. 0, 0, 0, 0. Dry day all the way around. And will continue to be the case for our Tuesdays. So water those plants. Trust me, they need it. And you need to stay hydrated too with all this dry air around. I know with me, I feel like I'm choking on air sometimes just because of how dry it is outside. Where all that moisture is, well, we basically have this wall set up that's over the top of Alabama that's blocking us from getting any meaningful moisture. You can see Imelda as well as Umberto out there in the Atlantic circulating in a lot of that moisture there towards the Florida coast. Probably a few rip currents right along the coastal regions as well as a few large waves. Same thing up there towards the Carolinas. At least a good bit of this is being circulated in there from the Atlantic into the Carolinas, despite not having direct impacts. As you can see right here, having this counterclockwise motion, you can almost see it with those bands around that circle, giving you an idea about the movement on this. But as you can see, I mean, it just starts to circulate in a little bit more of that moisture on some of those outer bands feeding there into the Carolinas, and that's where it's bringing us some decent chances of rain. We do have a low far down there in the Gulf, but I mean, reaching all the way up into North Mississippi. Let's measure. We love a good ruler where we can use it. There's the distance it has to travel, about 669 miles, a little too far to reach all that moisture here to North Mississippi, so that's why we have it being on the drier side for our extended forecast, really in this dominant ridging pattern, which usually is dominated by a high pressure system, which keeps us dry, and that'll continue to be the case as we get into our Tuesday. You can see Tuesday evening, let me get back highlighted in there towards North Mississippi because no reason to pay attention to Imelda, not going to play any impact in our forecast. 3 a.m., a lot of that partly cloudy condition trying to move in there from the west. That's a part of some of that Gulf moisture, but a lot of that not kicking into North Mississippi, staying prominently there towards Louisiana and Arkansas. So we continue with those dry conditions. You can even see a little bit of that northerly wind, northeasterly wind, trying to get back here into North Mississippi, and that helps keep our conditions dry and drive this moisture. Basically have this battle between the two, the moisture and the northerly wind, to see how much that moisture will prevail in that forecast. And as you can see, doesn't really win the battle or the war. So we're staying on that drier side for the next 24, 64 by 6, 71 by 9, 85 there towards noon, topping out around 89 degrees around 3 p.m. Now, a few areas could be in the low 90s, so those above average conditions, yes, they will continue. But there is good news in that extended forecast, and that's one of the things we'll be tracking here in the Room to Room Weather Center is when we could get some cooler air, but when we could also get some chances of rainfall. All of that coming up on Mississippi Live Weather at 10 in the next 60.
At Room to Room, the VIP sale is here. And for a limited time, enjoy an extra 10% off Row furniture. From classic neutrals to bold statement pieces, Row gives you modern style with timeless comfort. Don't miss the VIP sale happening now, only at Room to Room Tupelo.
Get ready for a night of inspiration, laughter, and support. Join us on Saturday, October 4th at 6 p.m. at the Tupelo Cotton Mill, where outstanding men from our community will walk in her shoes. You'll hear powerful stories from survivors and caregivers, enjoy delicious food and drinks, and experience live entertainment in an evening filled with fellowship, fun, and hope. All proceeds go to support those bravely fighting cancer. This event is powered by Wear It Well.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
A beautiful evening across North Mississippi, so if you didn't get out today, you definitely missed out. But luckily, there will still be some more opportunities in that extended forecast. We'll look at that here in just a moment. I want to stay on the here and now because this is just a beautiful sight across North Mississippi. 70 degrees in Tupelo right now with those clear conditions. I can see those stars in the sky. Winds lightly blowing there out of the north about 5 miles an hour, but that just adds to those dry conditions and makes it feel just that much more bearable in that extended forecast. Macon 76 degrees, 3 miles an hour out of the north, feels like 77, so that drier air still dominating our forecast and keeping those conditions, albeit above average, still very comfortable. So we'll take that here as we track out that extended forecast. Mississippi Live Weather Radar, as you can see, not highlighting anything in regards to rainfall. We're in clear air mode right now, meaning we have clear air, clear skies, beautiful dry conditions across North Mississippi, so enjoy it. Again, if you didn't get out tonight, you definitely missed out. Let's get into Futurecast and see when those next opportunities will prevail, and it might be a little bit sooner than you think. Tuesday morning, you can see a little bit of those partly cloudy conditions moving into the Mississippi Delta, but over here in the east side of the area, a lot of that staying on the clear side with mostly sunny skies all day long. 6 a.m. for your morning commute, still remaining with those dry conditions with a little bit of that cloud cover out there in the Delta. 62 Senatobia, Holly Springs, Boonville, 65 Starkville and Columbus, and 64 around the Houston area. So your school day forecast going to be starting out perfectly. 63 degrees, pretty comfortable if you ask me. But as the day goes on, 82 around lunch and 88 by that last bell. Shorts and a t-shirt still necessary as we go about our Tuesday, despite it being the last day of September. October is almost here. Can you believe it? I can't, and that's just unbelievable to think about. But hey, that's closer to fall. It's another Burr month, and I know folks out there, no complaints there to get some of those cooler conditions in place. Futurecast for your Tuesday morning, still partly cloudy conditions, but that's the most coverage we're going to get. A lot of those just not bringing any meaningful moisture here to the region. A few light showers possible as we get towards that early afternoon time frame, but that's the best chance that we have. Really out there towards Arkansas, moving in there about 1:30 towards Eudora, and Hollandale and Greenville maybe getting a sprinkle or two by 3 o'clock, but that's it. And I say sprinkle, and I'm even thinking it could be lighter than that. So I'm using that word lightly, but I'm gonna be optimistic that at least we get a couple drops of rainfall, right? 6 p.m. on your Tuesday, mostly dry conditions persist. It's really around the Hollandale, Greenville, and maybe out there towards Chula and Greenwood. That's the best chance of rainfall we have across North Mississippi. If I did not mention your town's name, probably staying on the drier side. For your forecast, high temperatures, 90 degrees Bruce, 90 towards Grenada, 91 Greenwood, and 90 around Clarksdale. Up on the northeast side of our viewing area, 84 Red Bay, 86 Iuka, and 86 there towards Boonville. Let's keep our Futurecast going, and what you may notice is that it tries to keep a few of these showers out there towards Holmes County, but even those dissipate as we head into those overnight hours. So staying dry for the Tuesday evening and Wednesday morning time frames. So Wednesday morning commute, looking perfect per usual. A little bit more cloud cover than what we have been seeing the past few days, but as we get into the day, that sun burns a lot of that up, and our moisture kind of just driven out of the forecast once again. A few of those winds blowing more out of the east, and that might circulate in a little bit of those showers that's left over from Imelda. But at this point, Imelda is way off in the Atlantic, so there's not as much moisture as what there is right now. So just barely missed it. But as we get into our Wednesday afternoon, our other model was a little bit more ambitious on some of these showers, but this is what we believe to actually occur. This is why we have that 10% chance in there for a few showers down around Sunflower County and Union and Tippah County by about 6 o'clock on your Wednesday. But again, that's it. And even that's just a couple of drops of rainfall, not even anything significant. We Foresee a few hundreds at most for a lot of those showers. High temperatures being drawn back just a little. And that's going to be a very gradual, underlying gradual cooling trend over the next several days. 89 Bruce, 88 Houston, 88 Tupelo, and 88 there towards Oxford. So we will see that slowly be pulled back just a bit. And you can see it right here on our high temperature graphic, almost following it like steps down the stairs. 89 Tuesday, 88 Wednesday, and 87 by Thursday. And then, you know, when you try and skip 2 or 3 steps at the end, that's what happens Thursday to Friday, 87 to 84, and then we stick around that same area. Hey, we hit the floor, we're in the next level, we're good. 84, 85, and 85 there for Sunday as well. Rain chances, you're walking on flat ground at this point. You're in the Midwest. Shout out Matt, I know he'd know that reference for sure. But you're not going anywhere, you're just going to stay on those dry conditions for the next several days. 20% coverage as we get towards early next week with the hope that a little bit of that moisture from the Gulf starts to circulate into our region. But even those chances, not overly high, and that could very well change over the next several days, and we expect it to, but we hope that it changes in the higher region, trying to circulate in just a few more of those showers. 89 by Tuesday, 88 Wednesday, like we mentioned, and 87 Thursday. But take a look, temperatures be pulled back Friday and Saturday, still with those sunny conditions sticking around. So it is going to be a beautiful forecast and much more comfortable, right on time for those football games. And if you saw the meteorologist wearing polos and shorts, don't be like them. Have a pair of sweatpants, or at least have a pullover as you get done with your Friday night games, because coming from me, I had chill bumps that whole time, and I was so excited to get done with highlights because I was freezing. I turned on the heat the whole way home because I had to thaw out just a bit. So Friday, prepare, but for the next several days, definitely won't need that. We'll be right around, actually just right above our seasonable average. So no complaints there, though. And we're not in summer anymore. That overwhelming summer heat will take this forecast compared to that, but we're hopeful towards early next week. One of the ways you can track that forecast is using the Mississippi Live Weather app. You can see that it is free to download on iOS and Android. So we hope that you guys join us on this journey and go ahead and download that and have it readily available. I want to check the chat here real quick. Oh, you guys are talking about football. Yeah, Saturday's football slate going to be good weather, and Friday's football slate going to keep that good weather. Oh, hey, I'm actually going to come back on screen because I need to talk to you guys about something. Not too late just yet. Matt has not put out the top 3 just yet, but what that means is you have more time to submit a few of your nominations. Want us to head to your Friday nights and be a part of your game day forecast? Game day? Game day, there's a word I'm looking for. Then we will do exactly that. Put it in the submissions below in the comments on Matt LaPon's Facebook page, and we will pick 3 tonight, upload that, and then you'll have the chance to vote on it tomorrow, and we'll pick the winner as we get into 10 o'clock on our Tuesday. Excited to join you guys on that journey. Excited to have another location we get to go to and be a part of your Friday nights. Hey, great concession stand food, that's what I'm always about. So if your concession stand is number 1, I'll be the judge of that, but I trust your suggestions. So go ahead and put it in the comments and we will go from there. But we'll see you guys back here tomorrow morning at 6:30, 7, and 7:30 with meteorologist Maggie McCauley. And then at 5, 6, and 10, we'll be back here for your Tuesday evening. So excited to join you then, but make sure to, of course, take advantage of these dry conditions and try to find ways to stay cool during that afternoon. A few more days, I have to say that, before fall really kicks in. Yes, October right around the corner. We'll see you bright and early for your Tuesday at 6:30, 7, and 7:30. But until then, have a great night.
If you're facing a DUI charge, every decision matters. At the law office of Andrew W. Stewart II, we provide a skilled defense to protect your record, rights, and future. Call today or visit drewstewartlaw.com. Your future is worth defending.